Hey y'all, I'm Ali. Welcome to Little Hill Homestead. I'm doing some kitchen stuff today, and one of the things I wanted to do was make a bunch of pasta. We make fresh pasta and then we dehydrate it or let it air dry so that we have pasta at times that we can't just make pasta from scratch. So we have a manual pasta maker that Shawn and I often work together, and we'll make spaghetti or angel hair or sheets for lasagna, but you can't use it for penne or anything else. So about a year ago, I was at a thrift store and I was so excited because I found an electric pasta maker by a very high dollar brand, but it didn't have instructions. It came with the basics. But then I was like, well, it doesn't even come with the dies, these little dudes, that I want. And so I started looking into the cost to get the ones I wanted, and it was gonna be like astronomical. So, you know me, I love the website Vevor, V-E-V-O-R. I'm on there all the time. I have the bread machine, I have a mixer from them. Pretty much, if I can get it from there, that's where I go because they have good quality stuff and not crazy prices. So, for the cost of one single die set that I was gonna buy, I was able to buy a new machine because the other one never quite worked right, which is probably why I was at a thrift store, let's be real. What I was excited about is this one came with all the stuff, where the other one didn't come with all the parts, so yay for me. But the reason I really wanted to get an electric pasta maker like this is because the other one, like I was saying, it takes two people. And sometimes when I have days like this where I want to make just a boatload of pasta, I can't do it unless I have Shawn with me. Well, today he's at work, so we're using the electric pasta maker. So I thought I'd bring you along. So like I was saying, this is by the brand Vevor. This is their name. I will link this below, but Philips is the pasta maker that we were able to get at the thrift store. And I got it for like, I don't know, I can't remember, I think it was like $8 or something like that. But it was not great. I didn't like the pasta maker. I still have it. I'm probably gonna donate it right back to the thrift store, to be honest. So, like I was saying, that Philips pasta maker is it's just under $300. I think it's like $275 for a pasta machine. You can buy a lot of box pasta for $275, which is why I was so excited when I found it at the thrift store. But it opened Pandora's box. So this one, I got it from Vevor. I paid $71 for it, I think. They pretty much always have a coupon code. If you look below, they always give our people 5% off. So it brings it to like $70, which is not bad for an electric pasta maker, considering the other one's $275. Anyways, I just thought I'd bring you along and show you guys how we use this thing. Kind of a quick recipe. If you have an electric pasta maker, this is the recipe we use. But if you have an electric pasta maker, let me know recipes if you have another one that's awesome, because I'd be curious to try it. Anyways, this one does it all for you, but the reason that I bought it is it comes with 8 discs to make different shapes. So I have the penne on there because that's what I'm going to be making mostly today, but I just got finished with a batch of spaghetti. We just bird's nest those and either let them air dry or throw them in the dehydrator. But it's got linguine, tagliatelle, udon, angel hair, fettuccine, and lasagna. So it pretty much covers all of the noodles. We have used the penne or elbow. That is the only one that is missing, but whoop-doo-doo, right? Anyways, I just thought I'd bring you along. So let me show you how we use this Vevor pasta machine. I'm gonna do a batch of penne. So you can do single batches, which feeds like 1 to 2 people. This is a single batch, it does 4 bird's nests. Or you can do double batches. We don't use a lot of spaghetti, like thick noodles. We usually use angel hair or penne. So that's why I'm using penne today. So the first ingredient that you need is semolina pasta. I'm finishing up some semolina that we had. We actually typically grind our own from Durham wheat berries that we get from Azure Standard, and it is so good when you do that. But this, basically you just fill this up. I just use my finger. We're gonna do 2 scoops of the semolina. I don't use all-purpose in mine. I like just a straight semolina. I feel like, I don't know, it's the most traditional. It's delicious that way, so that's what we do. So you just put 2 scoops of that in there. I have a bunch of eggs for my chickens. This is kind of what sparked this whole thing. Is our chickens are now producing enough eggs in a day that we can't use them all for the most part. Some days we do just because we have a heavy egg day, but we have a buildup, and so I thought I'm gonna make some pasta with the eggs because they're still producing daily at this point. So what I need is, this one comes with a measuring cup. I'll see if I can measure it out, but I know this is about at 1 1/4 cups of flour. So for this recipe, I'm taking 2 of my cute little eggs and I'm gonna crack them into the little liquid container. It says liquid on the side, that's why it's called the liquid container. So popping 2 little eggs in there. I'm hoping I don't get a double yolker. We've been getting a couple double yolkers, which is awesome for other things, but not for making pasta. So to this, I'm gonna add a couple teaspoons of olive oil. I just eyeball it, but it should be about 2 teaspoons. And then if you have an electric pasta maker, there's usually like a line you need to fill your water to. And y'all, this thing scares me. Every time I bring it onto the channel, I spill. So we're gonna be very careful. And there is a line that has 2 little lines that shows a double batch, and we're going to that line. If you find it to be a little dry, you can add a little more and it's fine. I'm gonna pop this lid on. If the lid isn't on, it doesn't run. It's like a safety thing. So, where'd my knife go? Not knife, fork. So all I'm gonna do now is kind of mix my eggs in, just slightly. Break those yolks up and get them incorporated into your liquid. Okay, 1 yolk that won't go. Go. So like I was saying, the reason I like to be able to do this myself is sometimes Shawn's not here. And doing the manual one or the one that hooks on the KitchenAid, I just am not a fan of that one. My KitchenAid I struggle with because it doesn't have the power to do an entire thing of pasta dough. So I like this because it does it all. Anyways, on the top of this, there's an on button. You push on. And then there's a batch 1 or 2. So do you want a single batch or a double batch? We're doing a double. Like I said, it's 19 minutes for it. It's automatically gonna start. Once it does, you just pour this through the little hopper on the top, and it will slowly dribble down into your flour and make, okay, this always freaks me out when I use electric pasta makers because it looks really dry, but once it starts extruding, it is not the case. It is usually fine. It just looks worse than it is. But of course my little egg got stuck. Hold on. My little egg yolk is blocking the hopper. Come on. There we go. All right. And in it goes. I don't add salt or anything to this because I feel like you can salt your pasta water and it makes it perfect. So every once in a while I do have to open the back of this, but I had to do this with the Phillips too to get flour unstuck from weird spots. But I'll show you the security feature this one has. As soon as I open the lid, and it detaches from this thing back here, it basically stops it. It's beeping to tell me that I have it open, which I know. And then I'm just gonna pop this back on. It'll restart and I'm good to go. So it'll beep, so it's gonna do basically the mixing part for me. It's gonna beep so I can walk around and do other things. It'll beep to say, hey, we're gonna start extruding now. The blade's reversed and then it'll start extruding pasta out the front. The other thing I think is cool, it has a little drawer down here. So I can store all my little discs or extruder pieces in here. I like the lasagna one, it's metal, but it does a really pretty job. So I can store those in there. It comes with a tool that you can like basically poke into here in case it gets clogs. And then this is what you use to cut the pasta off. So I'm gonna leave that out because I do need that. That just tucks right in there so you can't lose anything, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm gonna let this do its mixing thing. As soon as it beeps, I'll bring you back to show you how we extrude it. And then I'm gonna walk you kind of through how we dehydrate pasta. See in just a second. Oh, by the way, it does come with a manual that tells you how to make pasta. But also, if you have an electric pasta maker, there is, I think it's called Pasta-aholics. on Facebook. It's a group of people that have machines like this, and they come up with the best recipes. They also have links to extra dyes and things like that. A lot of them are overseas. I have not actually purchased them because they're kind of expensive, but there are full groups dedicated to this kind of pasta machine. So there you guys go. Oh, it comes with a cleaning brush too. We'll see in a second. So I wanted to bring you in closer really quick and show you it is already extruding our pasta, and all that I do is wait until I get it the length that's kind of long, and then you just take this little thing, I just use that backwards, and you trim it off, and then it shoots into your bowl, and I just do that until the pasta runs out. I'm gonna back you up and I'll show you again, but isn't that cool? It's cool, y'all.
It's cool, y'all.
It's cool, y'all. So your pasta ends up basically at whatever length you want. I was laughing because Olive Garden right now is doing some special, and we were like, what kind of pasta is this stuff that they are talking about? And it's basically a noodle like this, where it's like a straw, hollow in the middle, and they were talking about it being the cool new thing. Who knew? That got too long again. I need to pay attention. Pay attention, or you're gonna end up with really long penne. I was cutting it for elbow. This is penne, hello. What is cool about fresh pasta is, if you wanted to cook this right now, it cooks in 1 to 2 minutes, you guys, like so quick. If you dehydrate it and then cook it, it takes a little bit longer. It's more like traditional pasta, but it tastes so much better. Like, people come to our house and they always say like, I didn't know you could elevate your cooking, and then you guys always up it a little bit more. And the biggest thing we do now is make homemade pasta. We're really good at Italian food. It's just one of those things that we're good at, but homemade pasta makes a big difference. So anyways, all I'm gonna do with these is I'm gonna put them on my dehydrator trays. I don't put like anything down underneath them. I just put them straight on the dehydrator trays. If I'm doing spaghetti, I make bird's nests like these, like that. And then I just put this on my dehydrator tray as is. I have them on parchment just for now, but you put them on your dehydrator tray. Set it for 135 degrees. It's just warm enough to dry them out, and then you just check them every like 2 hours and see how they're doing. I've had some when it's like a bird's nest like that took like 8 hours because it's trapped together, or if you have a thicker pasta, it can take a little bit longer. But once it is fully dried out, you can also air dry it. So if you have like a window screen, or you have some old hardware cloth that you can staple to a piece of wood and make like a nice screen that your air can get through really well, you guys can make and preserve homemade pasta. So if you have chickens like we do, or get eggs on a clearance deal where it's like you need to use them by a certain date, make some pasta, you guys. You will be amazed at the flavor difference. But like I was saying, we have a bunch of eggs and I don't need to use them up, but I thought it would be fun to use them anyways. But once you dehydrate this, it is shelf stable, just like regular pasta. It lasts for, I don't want to say forever, but definitely you could probably go like 18 months, but you need to make sure it is fully dry. Don't put it in your oven. It doesn't need to go that extreme. Just let it air dry really, really well. If you do bird's nest like the spaghetti, it definitely is a little harder to get the air out of it because it does have pieces that hook. You can do it long and skinny. I just found that to be a whole lot harder to maneuver without it snapping. So I don't do that. But we do penne, we do spaghetti. Oh, the other thing is, if you don't want to dehydrate or air dry it, you can freeze these. So this one, I just put this in a baggie and I freeze it. Those ones, spaghetti, I do the same bird's nest, and then I just put the parchment paper like that, fold it over on top of itself, and then I'll stack more spaghetti on top of it and then put it in a bag as well. So pay attention, those are the longest penne in the world. Anyways, that is how we make homemade pasta and how we preserve it. But it's a game changer, you guys. Like, we always say, like, we started using better ingredients and we started doing certain things and our food is better. Well, this one we know exactly what's in it. It was durum wheat, if we make it ourselves, or semolina flour, which you can get really cheap. Okay, Azure doesn't sell semolina. You can get it on Amazon, really inexpensive. It's harder to find local to me, but I know Bob's Red Mill, I believe, sells it. That is the priciest though. I haven't found it at Sam's Club or Costco or anything like that, but a 5-pound bag is gonna go quite a ways. So there you guys go. Anyways, the other thing you can do is lasagna noodles. I do those straight and then just dehydrate them, and then you just use them as you would a ready-to-go lasagna noodle. If I do the lasagna noodles and use them right away, you can actually prepare your lasagna and freeze it, and it cooks using the liquid from your sauces and stuff, so you don't have to boil them. They're no boil at that point. If you dehydrate them, you do need to boil them. So there you guys go. But if you're interested in an electric pasta maker, the Vevor one is definitely really, really good. Like I've said before, if we need a new gadget, I'm a gadget person. Anytime I go to Vevor's website, I always end up going with them over other brands just because their prices are always really good. And so far, everything that we purchased from them has been a little bit better built, if that makes sense. It's more like restaurant grade, sort of. We have a meat slicer from them that is phenomenal. That's the other thing we have from them. Anyways, there you guys go. That is our pasta maker. I am gonna sit here and go through all these, and I'll show you at the very end all the pasta we made. And there you guys go. Anyways, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna turn on, what music do I wanna listen to today? Shawn will come in and say, like, he always thinks I wanna listen to 70s folk, which is true. I love 70s folk music, but sometimes I need to turn on some like Salt and Pepper or some like 90s rap because it makes me really productive in the kitchen. Anyways, I'll bring you back once I get all of our pasta done to show you what we ended up with and how many batches we ended up making, how long it took, you know, that sort of thing. Okay, I started yet another batch. This was our penne pasta when it's all said and done. It's beautiful. I'm starting a batch of angel hair now to get that going. And then I did want to tell you, it has the tagliatelle pasta shape. We use that for egg noodles. It's not exactly the same, but they're wide enough and stuff, and we just cut them off at whatever distance you want, and you can use it for an egg noodle. I'll do that in a different recipe video. So last night I came up with, well, you guys have asked for this, so it's not like I'm a genius and I just came up with this idea, but you guys have asked for this for a while, and I finally am going to do it. We are going to be doing, it's probably going to be a week series. I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to work yet, but we are going to be doing a boatload of freezer meals. You guys have been asking for this for probably 2 years, I'm not going to lie. And we've done a few here and there, but this one is going to be an all-out freezer meal extravaganza. So I need your help a little bit on this one. If you guys have a freezer meal that you make and love, something that is either like raw chicken, or of course now it's gonna go raw chicken, then you throw stuff in it like we've done on the channel before. You can either crock pot it or do it on a sheet pan, or things that you can put in your Instant Pot, or things that you can pre-cook, like have a lasagna ready to go, things like that. If you have favorites that you swear by, I would love it if you would email me, because we would love to use some of your guys' recipes in our freezer meal extravaganza, we're gonna call it. No, that I shouldn't say that either. We'll just take that part out. Okay, edit that part out because I'm talking out of my, you know what. Anyways, if you guys have a recipe that you swear by that is a freezer meal and you think that the masses would love to know about this, shoot me an email or comment below. Shaw's in the other room going, good Lord, women, just shut up. Hit me with a link below if it's to a website or somewhere that I need to go find it. If it's something that you guys, it's a family one or whatever, shoot me an email. Our email is Little Hill Homestead, GA, because we're in Georgia, at gmail.com. Anyways, I'm gonna go tend to my angel hair now. And, oh, I did want to tell you, we also have used this pasta machine for our homemade ramen noodles, and it totally worked just fine for that as well. We had to reduce the liquid just a little bit to make it work, but it worked just fine. So anyways, what I thought was cool too, and the reason I brought you back at exactly this moment, is it kind of bird's nests itself. Yes, you still have to be here to cut it off, otherwise you'd have literally the world's longest noodle, which could be fun if you have kids. But it starts a bird nest on its own. And I think that's pretty cool, because then I just pick it up and I transfer it to my parchment paper. Anyways, as you can tell, when I'm in the kitchen by myself for long amounts of time, I get into my own head. Who doesn't? Anyways, okay, I'm gonna go continue making pasta. I'm trying to get rid of this whole bucket, so I think I have 1 or 2 rounds left. Anyways, okay, be back. All right, while my pasta is still doing its thing, I have some bird's nests of pasta over here. They were over here when I swatched them. I'm gonna watch this, I swear. But I did get my London Sunshine dehydrator out. I like this one because it fits on my counter so easily. The trays are like a 12 by 12-ish, and I'm gonna be using this to dehydrate my pasta. I set it at 131 degrees. I don't know, I just picked a number and that's where it's set. So it's at 131. I'm gonna take my penne and I'm just gonna put it right onto our tray. It's big enough that it's not gonna fall through, and all I'm gonna do is spread it out so that there's enough airflow going through. All right, we're gonna cut that, ready? Boom. I was using the little thing that it came with, but when I was doing the penne, I'll show you. If I used the little tool it came with, it pinched the ends. So I started using a knife and then it stopped doing that. That's the only pasta I've had an issue with it doing that, and then it just stayed out. Anyways, all I'm gonna keep doing is putting this onto, I'm probably gonna use 2, because I might do another batch of this, but I just put it out like that. And then all you're gonna do is dehydrate it until it is fully dry. So there you guys go. I have 10 hours set on here. It's not gonna take 10 hours to dehydrate because I said so. Oop, this one's piggybacked onto the shelf. All right, so that one is in. I'm gonna put my spaghetti on my top rack. Let me grab those. See, they just already are starting to dry. So I'm gonna do each tray. Sorry if I'm all up in your face. Each tray is gonna be a different type of pasta, and I have 6 trays in this guy to work with, so it should be good. I'm gonna start sticking the angel hair on the next one, and then I'll check it in like 2 hours. It can't hurt it to over dehydrate it, which is the joy of dehydrating. It just is gonna continue to dry more, which is fine. I could probably stage this a little bit better, but I'm just gonna kind of do it like that, and then multitasking. Oops. That's best. So that one's not the best because I just cut it weird, but traditionally I just take the pasta when I cut it, I hold it, and then to bird's nest it, I just spin it in a circle around itself, and there you go. That was terrible, but it works. All right, my pasta machine is telling me it is done. I'm gonna tell it, no, you're not. So the joy of this one is if you push cancel and then push on again and push the button that says forward, it will continue to extrude. So if you have dough that's left in there. The other thing I like about this one is at the end of the normal pasta cycle, it will switch itself to backwards, and it takes any pasta that's stuck in the tube that would be extruding if it hasn't pushed it through yet, and it moves it backwards so it's not stuck in there. So when you go to clean it, it's a whole lot easier. I forgot to mention too, this thing can go in the dishwasher. Not the motor, obviously, but all the other parts are dishwasher safe. So I usually just hand wash it because I'm not big at sticking large things in my dishwasher. I only put dishes in it, especially not pots and pans. I don't know if you're one of those people, but it's one of those like, you put pots and pans in your dishwasher? I don't know why. It's one of those things. My mom didn't. I don't think my mother-in-law does. I just can't. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to check these as they're dehydrating. And there you guys have shelf-stable pasta. Like I said, we enjoy doing this because the flavor is better. We know what is in it. And it's a whole lot cheaper than buying a good brand or organic pasta. We do get the one from Azure Standard from time to time, because sometimes I don't have eggs or whatever. I just want something easy. But now that we have a constant supply from our chickens, I won't be buying those anymore because I'll just make my own. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, because I know I jumped all over the place, let me know below. The link to the pasta machine and the discount code are also below. And what else was I going to say? Oh, if you have something for us for our freezer meal, whatever we're going to call it, big old freezer meal day, we're going to be doing a lot. I'll tell you that right now. The other thing we're going to try to do is provide you guys a grocery list with quantities, so that if you wanted to make the exact meals that we did, you would have exactly what you needed to do that. So it's a big dream. We'll see if it actually happens. But hit me up via email or comment below if it's a link, and I'm excited to hear from you guys because you guys have good ideas, in case you didn't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go finish this off. But thank you guys for coming along, and have a fantastic day.